Hey everybody, welcome to Spilling the IT. Oh boy, that is a hot mic. I got to turn that down. Adam, what's going on? How are you doing?
Good, good. You're coming across loud and clear on this side, so that must be all internal audio spiking up on you, but doing good. Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. Adam, I'm impressed you're using all that fancy language like internal audio,
Internal audio, I use the word
internal
spike, you know.
spike.
Google's an amazing tool, Paul. I don't know if we've talked about how amazing Google is, but you can really become a generalized expert on anything. 20 minutes.
We've
20
covered
minutes.
we've covered so much on this channel, yet we've never talked about Google. Guys, get familiar with it. It's here to stay. Hot take.
Well, sometimes, it's one of those things where people are like, well, I don't know what that is.
Hmm.
Have you Googled it? No. Well, I mean, if you're looking for a place to eat, if you're looking for a good movie, if you're looking for, directions, if you're looking for all sorts of stuff, you Google it. In the business world, in the IT world, Google it.
I was
Check it out.
over the weekend, Adam, I was trying to educate myself on Ethereum, and I did what you're suggesting. And I Googled
Yeah,
it. Turns
yeah,
out, turns out the internet knows things. And I
it
learned
does.
things.
It does. It's a good little site. Some good nuggets there. Ethereum. What are you checking out Ethereum for? You getting into the crypto game? You gonna?
You know, Adam, I got a life. I got a life outside this live stream. I got to find places to put. I got big money, Adam. Big money. I got to find places to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, was it Munger at the Berkshire Hathaway? Charlie Munger called it, I don't know, he called it like terrible and destructive or something. He had some choice words for Bitcoin and Ethereum. The Berkshire guys, I don't know. I don't think Bitcoin's that popular with the 95-year-old crowd. But, tear down a few generations. Some folks might be a little more interested in it. But Ethereum's kind of cool because it's like it's contract based execution, right? So you can create like your own coins. You can kind of create your own if then type logic for that type of stuff, which is pretty cool. We're checking out more and more, not necessarily Bitcoin based stuff, but blockchain type information in some of our research and development. So I know nothing about it, zero, other than a very thin layer of information. But it's basically, there's some cool stuff going on out there as far as exchanges of goods and services as a managed services provider. Whether we're doing a one-time job or ongoing contract, you can. I mean, I think you can buy. What is it? One of the NBA guys. Who's the Mavericks dude? The guy out of
Cuban.
Cuban. Yeah, Cuban was talking about how he's selling like gear at their location in Dogecoin. Like you get
Oh,
Dogecoin,
I didn't
and
hear
and he's
that.
like, we'll never sell it. We'll never sell a Dogecoin, but they'll transact it in. You can buy a Mavericks jersey in Dogecoin or something like that on site through their stadium, which is, who knows, wild west of that kind of stuff right now. But
Yeah, no. I'm thinking about maybe getting my cats to do some artwork, turn those into some NFTs, make some money, Adam. Cat art. I got
I
four
mean,
cats. I got four
y-
cats that are not pulling their weight around here.
that could be, it could mark the top. When cat art sells for a couple $1 million on NFTs. But hey,
Did
ride the
you
wave while it's there.
did you see that? She's a woman now, but when she was younger, she was a kid. The one smiling. It's a meme where she's smiling and there's a
Yeah, 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 yeah,
huge
yeah.
red.
The
Did you hear how much
chaos girl.
that went
Yeah,
for?
yeah, the chaos girl, where it's like,
Yeah, it went for
yeah,
like 500,000, I believe.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. She made $500,000 off that image.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So now you just gotta find. I want to find the who's got the pun dog. The pun dog, like where it's like he's kind of got his head down, and then like it does a stupid pun, and he's like, hey, it's like this the goofy looking dog. Yeah.
yeah.
That NFT's got to be worth like $1 million. You know. So
And we're professional NFT appraisers. So come to us and we'll let you know how much your NFT is probably gonna be worth on the market. We got lots
yes,
of side hustles. I mean, Quest,
only charge you 24 Ethereum to give you our expert opinion.
pretty
Opinion. So
reasonable, guys.
pretty
Pretty
reasonable.
reasonable.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, feel free to reach out to us about that. But also today we're talking about managed services and professional services, and yeah, but yeah. So let me turn down this music because it is.
You get the
Get that.
background coming in hot on the yeah, it's good.
Too much ambience. Too much ambience. We'll dial it back a little bit. So yeah, so we're trying to we bantered quite a bit. So Adam, let's get lasered focus here. Managed
We got
services.
4 minutes. We got 4 minutes.
Got 4 minutes left. We just talked about Ethereum for 26. So managed services versus professional, and when it makes sense for you to use either or maybe even both in certain situations. So let's just kind of like distinguish for the audience, like what is managed services versus professional service. So what is managed services? Let's start there.
Yeah. So managed services is going to be anything that you as an organization would like to contract for outside of your organization. Rather than basically doing it yourself, you're going to bring someone in to execute that for you. So in our world, in the IT world, those are things like monitoring and alerting on parts of your network. So it can be watching your firewall. It could be monitoring your telecommunication circuits. It could be monitoring and alerting your systems. It could be as simple as I need a dedicated person to answer the phone 24/7 to support my end users. So a managed service could be something as simple as end user help desk or support desk services. Really, it's a contract that has a defined scope and a defined monthly recurring charge to execute against that scope of services. So, yeah.
And would like desktop as a service, would that be a managed services or professional services?
Desktop as a service would be anytime an organization is providing a capability across a term for a recurring charge, that's a managed service. So think of it like you got a yard, you got grass, you got trees. You're gonna hire someone to come over and basically provide landscaping services. They show up every Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and you pay them $180 or whatever to take care of your yard. And you're gonna say that could be month to month. You can get a discount for a year. That's a managed service agreement. You've agreed to a term, you've agreed to a price, and you're gonna pay them every month as they execute for you.
That's a lawn as a service, an LAAS.
Sorry, say that again. I just had a phone call come in, and it pulled me off the audio here. What was that again?
Oh, nothing of value, Adam. Nothing of value. So
okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
That'd be a managed service.
Yes. Yeah. So managed service is anything typically. So a lot of the managed services we do are managed backup. Right, so helping someone, you're providing backup as a service for them. Endpoint protection as a service, we've talked about on here. Our cyber defense suite, that's a managed service. We're providing endpoint protection, email security, and DNS as a service on a per user price. So you have a scope of services you're delivering, you have a cost, and you have a term. That's pretty much how you put together a managed service.
So Adam, I'm gonna put this ball on a tee, and you're gonna hit a home run off of this. Now, let's say, Adam, my lawn is a train wreck. It looks horrible, and some teenagers walking around the neighborhood saying, "Hey, I'll come and cut your lawn once." What would that be, Adam?
Okay. Well, first of all, let's address the fact that you don't hit home runs in golf, because the tee and hit a home run. So
no, it's T-ball. I'm playing T-ball, Adam.
Oh, okay.
Golf? I
thought you were mixing sports analogies. And
that's a safe assumption, Adam.
Yeah. So that would be a professional service, Paul. That would be a one-time engagement. So I was going to go with tree removal. Right? My head was going the same spot you were on that, keeping the analogy consistent with landscaping. But I was going to go with, hey, you got a tree fall over in your front yard. People come by, they say, hey, would you like us to take care of that for you? It's a one-time job. You're not going to have trees fall over all the time, but it's something that maybe you don't have a chainsaw, you don't have a truck, you don't have a flatbed to get that material out of there. You need a one-time job for someone to come in, augment what you're trying to do, keep a nice yard, and move that tree out of there. So it's a one-time service with a defined scope. So we do stuff like that. Yep.
Hole in one. Nice, Adam.
Damn it.
So sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so we do that type of thing all the time around project-based work. That's at least in the evolution of our company. We helped to we can still do this today, help organizations acquire the right materials that they need, but then we also help them, build and implement those services. That's the professional service, right? You have all these parts and pieces. You have these servers, these firewalls, switches, data center environments, whatever it may be. You help stand that up. You help manage the project, and then you hand over that environment to the client to manage going forward. So a professional service could be as simple as, hey, I just need you to rack and stack this server. I need you to install this lighting. I need you to drop in some wireless access points, whatever it is. It's a defined job that's paid for one time, and kind of has a defined project as part of it. So,
Adam, big question. Which is better? Or, Adam, is it dependent on the situation?
So definitely it's the lawyer answer. It depends, right? It depends on what you're trying to do, right? So if you have a big lift and you have an IT organization in your company and you just need some help to get from point A to point B, you're moving a bunch of servers from one data center to another, you're migrating logically your data from one cloud to another, or maybe you bought a company and you're trying to bring those folks into your systems one time, but you have your day-to-day operations squared away, but you need help for a one-time lift. Professional services are the way to go. So find a partner that you trust, find someone who can help you scope out what you're trying to do, document that scope, review it multiple times, confirm expectations, confirm timeline, and then start to book the project. Professional services definitely can help you if you need assistance executing on a project that you just don't have time for internally.
And we kind of addressed that the last couple weeks, is that confirm expectations. Make sure you and you are all on the same page. That's pretty important, correct?
Yeah. I mean, if you make an assumption on a professional services or anything in IT, a lot of people I think in IT are afraid to look stupid. They're afraid to ask the dumb question. Ask the dumb question, because I guarantee there's someone else in the room who has that same thing bouncing around their head around, well, who's really got that part of the puzzle? So ask the question, confirm expectations. It'll make the project go 10 times better, knowing who's got what, for sure.
Got it. So for those one-time off events, the migrations and everything else you mentioned, probably best to go professional services. When would it or not when, why would it make more sense to go managed services? Like in terms of like technology, reducing cost, are there those sorts of benefits?
Yeah, so the same drivers for professional services. We don't have the people to accommodate this. We don't have the skill sets to accommodate this. We don't have the time to accommodate this for a one-time engagement around professional services. Those same factors motivate a managed services decision. We don't have the skill sets. We don't want to pay for these skill sets. We don't want to manage these skill sets. We don't want to be responsible for this part of our operation. Then that's when you find someone the same way you do in professional services. Those are the same factors. It's just, as opposed to a one-time, you don't have those skill sets for for the day-to-day ongoing, right? So oftentimes we'll get involved in a one-time product transaction or professional service, and it's important we want to make sure people always know, hey, by the way, if you ever need help supporting this down the road, no matter what it is, it could be a wireless infrastructure deployment, it could be a data center, it could be a security appliance, anything. Those types of things can be supported down the road with patching, with monitoring and alerting, with remote management, with on-site management. Those are the types of things that we want to make sure firms understand, that if they don't have the skill set to manage this, if they don't have the in-house capabilities to deliver it, we can help. And that one of the reasons that we get pulled into managed services, and where managed services are very, very beneficial to companies, is in the complexity of what they're trying to do. So VDI, for example, is a service that we've done for a long time. Disaster recovery and business continuity is a service we do a lot. Security is a service that we help out a lot with. And it's not because we have some belief that VDI or security or disaster recovery is something special. It just touches a lot of different aspects of an organization. So let's just go with disaster recovery for example. Mm. Within disaster recovery, you have to deal with people, you have to deal with process, you have to deal with systems, you have to deal with security, you have to deal with connectivity, you have to deal with accessibility. All of those parts and pieces have to come together, and then they have to work during a crisis. There aren't a lot of people or organizations that can pull all those disparate systems together and then execute. I think that's probably one of the areas where our organization is one of the most unique organizations in the market, because we do take all of those different parts and pieces and can help people deliver something at the end of the day. There are great companies out there that do point solutions, where a managed service provider can really change the game for a customer. Is you have that defined scope. You confirm what their investment is in that solution, mm-hmm. and then you go forward and you deliver. But the reason organizations don't do that is because that in and of itself is its own discipline. They're busy managing the company day to day. Mm-hmm. Managing the survivability is a totally different discipline. It's similar, but it's different. And some organizations can afford to do that in-house and to carry that skill set throughout. But it's oftentimes more economical to use a third party to be your backup in the sense that you can kind of survive.
Do you think, and I mean, we've talked about this, I think so often we're surprised that certain organizations don't use managed services when it would really benefit them. I'm kind of asking a question, but I think also I know the question, and I also know
it's
the
a statement question.
It's a statement question, Adam. It's a statement question. I feel like
you virtue signal right along, buddy. You do it. You throw it out there.
Do you think that a lot of companies in potential clients think, oh, managed services, that's way too much and beyond our ability to afford something like that, so they don't even kind of broach the question about looking into managed services? Yeah,
that's one of the things.
Well, I'm glad I asked the question. Let's explore that.
No, it is a common theme that you get into when you talk to folks about managed services. Like, hey, what do we really need? What can we afford? And what are you trying to deal with? So yeah, that's a common roadblock that'll come up as you're having the discussion. I'm like, no, we don't need managed services. That's too much, or that's an outsourcing play, or that's something like that. And it's really not. It's more along the lines of identifying a task or a capability that for whatever reason the organization doesn't have, mm-hmm. and you need a third party to come in and take care of it for you. So but you just defining that scope. Sometimes I think organizations can trap themselves there because they'll ask the provider to define the service, which doesn't really make any sense to me. Because if you're the one looking for help, mm-hmm. what are you looking for help with?
Yeah, you know what you need. Just share what you need.
Yeah, and that's sometimes, but people get burnt. People have been burned in the sense that they'll share what they need, and then the sales guy or sales gal says, yeah, we got that 100% all day long. Well, maybe you tipped your hand as far as sharing what you needed. But we've found it much more successful when an organization talks about what they're trying to achieve, and then we take that back and we basically put together a service offering around it. And you play tennis with the opportunity a little bit. You bounce back and forth, and hey, I heard this. Okay, well, no, I really like this, and you kind of mold something that's more addressable to what they're trying to do. But if you're trying to get a one-size-fits-all managed service offering, it's going to be expensive. Because it's got to cover everything.
Gotcha. So, Adam, I like this analogy. It came to me recently that managed services is kind of like a service that takes care of, like, mows your lawn once a week. And it might be like if you ask for their full pack, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, you know what? I tried to say something and it completely failed. The point is that I'm going to stop talking. That's what I'm going to do.
I knew where you were going. I saw where you were going.
I saw where you were going. You saw where I saw where
you're going. You're talking about the platinum package. You're talking about the platinum.
Yes. I don't have rose bushes.
Buys the platinum.
I don't have rose bushes. I don't need my rose bushes tended to because I don't own rose bushes. So at least I should say, like, well, I don't know. You got a gold package. You got a silver package without rose bush. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Adam, my mind has never collapsed so quickly and so completely as it did just 20 seconds ago.
It was going, and you pulled the clutch, or you pulled the stick. I'm not a pilot. I don't know. But you didn't dive bomb with it completely. It was good. But yeah,
our metaphors today just
horrible,
just beautiful,
horrible. Get on the caffeine. Anyways, no, you're right. So it is the idea of what do you need help with, and that's the same for professional services too, right? Maybe you don't need that part of the project done, right? So like my father-in-law is getting his whole kitchen remodeled, but he's going to handle the demo, right? So when you're getting a scope of services for a one-time project, maybe you don't, hey, we don't need you to handle the demo. We don't need you guys to handle the demo. We got the demo. I need you to handle these complicated aspects of the project. Okay, cool, roger that. We'll rescope the project, reprice it, and put that in there. So the type of flexibility applies to both. It applies to both managed and professional services. So.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else you kind of wanted to talk about managed services or professional?
No, just it's oftentimes a capability conversation. If you're open to having that capability conversation and you're trying to get something done, those are great levers to pull in the IT industry as far as professional services or managed services. If you're looking for help with things, there's a lot of it.
I did think of something. Sorry, interrupted you on the back end of that.
Do it.
In terms of responsiveness, because I know responsiveness is so huge in the industry, managed service or professional services, does either one have an advantage in terms of like responsiveness to an issue?
Well, it depends what you're doing, but if you're a managed service provider, so we love to have visibility and access in order to respond quickly with our clients, right? So a managed service customer of ours is onboarded. We know who they are. They have a service manager. We know who their people are. We know we know how to get engaged, and we know something about their IT environment, whether we're watching their firewalls or watching their systems or monitoring their SQL database, whatever it is, we know something. Professional services, sometimes you're just getting to know each other. Sometimes you're just getting involved. You're on project-based work. So, but we've kind of built a model that makes that responsiveness a little bit irrelevant in the sense that we can respond quickly to on-call technical requests, and that comes from our DR background and our incident response background. But oftentimes, a managed service provider is going to be able to respond to an alert quickly, but also a professional services provider or someone who's helping you from a PS standpoint, you don't have a contract in place. You can create anything new that you want. Like, hey, I just need this person at this time now. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. So there's risks and benefits to each model, but making sure you're picking up the phone and responding quickly is definitely key to how we've been able to succeed.
Nice, great, thank you for sharing that. There was something else that I had in my notes. What was it? It'll come to me. I'll share it before we get out of here. Adam, real quick, last couple minutes. Let people know, what are you watching? What should they watch? YouTube, Hulu, what's worth listening to podcast-wise?
Well, from a podcast standpoint, there's a group called Avant Communication, or Avant Communications.
I hear they have amazing guests.
They have amazing guests.
Yep.
Fantastic. Excellent. That. Yeah, I actually got a chance to be on their technology podcast last week with Ken. And so maybe we can drop a link, get viral with this thing. Drop a link in the thing. Some people check it out. But yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And then still listening to The Thread, Jocko's podcast, history podcast about historical events. So The Thread's pretty good. Check that out.
Nice. But
also check out the Yvonne podcast. They're awesome guests.
Yeah. So speaking of that, we will put the podcast in the description. So yeah, check that out. Check out Adam. A lot of wisdom here. A lot of wisdom over there. Guys dropping knowledge all over the place. Let's see. What I began watching last night is a new series on Netflix called Shadow and Bone. And Adam, it's pretty entertaining. I feel like I'm getting to that age now where when I'm watching a TV show, all the main characters are like 18 years old. Like everybody who's making decisions is like 18 years old, and all the side characters who are doing business with them are like in their 40s and 50s. And I'm like, what's happening? What is this world?
Yeah.
But it's an entertaining. Oh man, I think Netflix just like threw a giant pot of money at whoever's making this, because the production for this TV show is so good. It's a fun show. Cool. It's fun.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a fantasy. It's like an urban fantasy, what they call urban fantasy. It's good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So there you go. That's what I was going to say. I was going to mention that if you are interested in talking about what you might need in terms of managed services, professional services, letting us know the scope of work that you're interested in, you can always reach out to us, questsys.com. Also, you'll find a link in the description to that, as well as Adam's podcast appearance as well. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Adam, any final thoughts?
No, everyone have a great week. I can't believe it's May already, but it is the 3rd, and have a great kickoff to May, everybody.
Yeah, talk to you guys soon, or we'll see you next week. Bye.
See you next week.